So in the reading of the law, one is, I'd say the first thing is read it like your grandpa is telling you about his memories of his childhood. So read it like Moses is your grandfather and he's describing a tabernacle you've never seen. You know, read it like we were talking about storytelling and stories, good stories have texture. They have color, they have meaning. So when I tell my stories in the sermons or in the teachings, you know the ones that had every one of you staring at me, not taking notes, you know, not cut off or zoned out or whatever, are the stories with details. And that's what Moses is doing. He's telling us a story. Oh, and then we built this tabernacle. And he gives you the details of the tabernacle twice. So that's the first thing is just when you're reading through it, hear the voice of a grandpa who's telling his grandchildren, there was this gorgeous tabernacle that we built in the wilderness. It was like this, and it was like this, and it was, I mean, you're not bored when your grandpa tells you about the farm 100 years ago. Don't get bored when Grandpa Moses tells you about this awesome thing they built in the wilderness all those years ago. The second thing I would say is, and this goes back to finding a good commentary or something like that, every last one of those details is pointing you to Christ. And learning how to see Jesus in the design and in the intentions of the tabernacle. We know this, again, back to the question about hermeneutics. We know this because the book of Hebrews specifically says that the tabernacle was patterned after the heavenly reality. And he didn't mean that there was a tent in heaven. He meant Jesus. That the tabernacle has a distinct shape, size, color that is somehow reflective of who Jesus is and what Jesus has come to do. That's what Hebrews tells us. So we should try and read it with those eyes of what is this telling me about Jesus? Yeah, something you illustrated there that I think is really helpful is the imagination. Like, slow down in your Bible reading and let your imagination engage. As you read, say, through Leviticus, the whole burnt offering or the sin offering or the guilt offering, as it makes its description, like, try to imagine a pile of stones, waist high, because they couldn't go up steps. And they're going to bring a bull over to this pile of stones. And they're going to lash its rear leg and hold it fast and maybe peg it to the ground, or maybe 2 or 3 strong men will hold it. And then they're going to slit the bull's throat. And when the bull struggles and strains in order to get away, all of its blood is going to surge into its throat and spill around the pile of rock. And then they're going to cut the thing open and throw it on the rock and light it on fire. I mean, these Hebrews, their religion wasn't neat and tidy. It was messy and it was gory. That's what faith looked like. That's what piety looked like. It smelled like the burning carcass of a bull. It smelled like barbecue.
Because you needed the salt.
Because you added the salt of the covenant.